What is going on, homies? It's your boy StumpD back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're over here on the global side of the game for the final treasure map before the sync. Treasure map Stussy will be arriving on the 14th of December, 1900 PST time, running through to the 18th of December, right before that maintenance does begin, and the sync will be truly on its way there. So this is the final treasure map that we will be getting on global before both Japan and global will be getting the same content at the same time, and moving forward, we will be getting the same treasure map. So in today's video, we're going to be going through my teams. We're going to be having looking at some different options, and big shout out to Perona and Garentz for the information provided, as well as some alternative teams. I'll leave a link to Garentz's Twitch in the description below, as well as their YouTube channel. Garentz is a weapon, does some serious grinding. Make sure to come check out the stream. If you are streaming, Garentz, correct, if you're in the comments, let me know, because you're normally streaming. When it comes to treasure map, you can bet your ass that Garentz is streaming. So, let's take a look at the teams that I have put together for you guys for this particular treasure map. So, treasure map Stussy is here. She's an okay character, nothing too special. Honestly, I haven't used her on Japan. Her special removes despair and special bind by 4 turns. She's color affinity to strength, shooter, and cerebral characters by 1.75. And if you have a type effect, she then boosts that type effect by 0.25. So, say you have like a 2.5 times color affinity boost, she can make it a 2.75. Pretty, like, unique ability. Her captain, shooter, cerebral's 3.75, and reduces crew special reverse by 1 turn. So, a bit of a speed captain, but obviously free-to-play unit. You're not really going to be seeing too much play as a captain. The big upside to this unit is she does have a 6-turn cooldown, so that is very, very nice. In this treasure map as well, we should be getting the Gecko Moria from Japan, as well as EGOgotic, who is literally releasing at the same time as this treasure map over here on the global side of the game. So, we're getting, basically, after this, we'll be caught up. Global will literally have every treasure map unit that Japan has, and moving forward, we'll be on the same timeline when it comes to treasure map. If you guys scroll down here, you can see your bonus rewards, all that sort of junk, all that sort of jazz, and then your demotion and promotion targets. Ideally, you want to stay in New World if you're already there. So, like, if you can be there, I would stay there. Trusty characters, obviously we have Hina, we have Tashigi, and we have Makino. I will have a summoning video out after this particular video. My teams will change, because your boy did some summons, so he did some summons. But these teams were built without Vivi, without Ryoiin, without the batch, without these rare recruits as well. So hopefully that'll help you guys out a little bit. If you have these units, obviously you want to bring these units. Ryoiin, Vivi, and Kaido, the previous treasure map unit, they are 1.4 times boosters. And then basically all the characters that have released around this time are all 1.35. So the Vivi, Ryoiin batch, the free-to-play characters that have come out, the Kazuna Jack, the Hody, which will be the PvP character, the King and Queen batch, which is really, really nice. We've got the last year's summer units, Vivi, who was the Kazuna last time. We have Toki, 6+ Sabo. So you guys can sift through all this. Some 1.25 treasure map characters. This is what Japan does. So it's nice to see that we are getting that structure of 1.25 treasure map boosters. And then the rest is just sort of down there. But without further ado, let's dive into the teams. But before we do that, as I mentioned, big shout out to Pyroman for the infographic that you guys see on screen right here. So the man's a weapon. Shout out to Frankie House. He has put together the infographic for you guys. If you guys want to check this out, I will leave a link. I think it's on Reddit. I'll try and find it on Reddit and leave a link for you guys. But look, the guy's an absolute gem. He does some really, really good work. His Kazuna ones are really, really good. But he's also got some, like, useful boosted units as well that the game doesn't really tell you about per se. So we have Makino as a mini boss, the easy one. We have Tashigi here with Hina, Perona, Alvida, who is the Nami, and then we have Alvida and Vivi, who are, which one's the invasion? So Nami stage 4. I think Vivi might be the, yeah, Vivi's the final boss, where Alvida is the invasion. That should be. Oh no, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 invasion. Oh, so that's the final boss down there. Okay, cool. I see what he's done. That's a bit confusing, but look, Invasion Vivi's up here. Beautiful. So that's the infographic. If you guys want to check that out, make sure to go follow him over on Reddit, I guess. And yeah, with that said, let's dive in. Let's bring Stussy back, because she should have been like that. Alright, so the first fight is against Makino. Now, against Makino, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. If you have Treasure Map Sanji, this is a really good place to use him. You just need to get around 2 turns of Threshold, and that's basically it. I like to use wave clearing shenanigans when it comes to my treasure map teams, as you guys know. So utilizing Super Type Luffy is really, really nice, because you can use your Super Type to wave clear. You can then use the specials of Zoro to wave clear as well. Zoro can actually remove Threshold as well, so be mindful of that. You can save a Zoro special for the final stage. That'll remove 2 turns of Threshold. And then I've just got the Sea Monster here. Here's another option to remove Threshold. And then you just fill the team out with 1.25, 1.35 boosters, whatever you guys have left. Law's great for cooldowns. Brulee's great for cooldowns on this Luffy team. It works really, really nicely. Whenever I can, I just basically run the Luffy-Zoro combo for the first stage. It helps you tear through the stage very quickly. But this time, you can actually use Zoro for his 2 turns of Threshold. Onto Tashigi now. Tashigi turns into a Psy unit. The recommended character here is the Buggy Pirates, or the Delivery Buggy. If you haven't finished this unit, farm them up, because they're a god for this fight. 4 turns of Blind, 2 turns of Special Bind on your crewmates, block and tandem mobs, and delay immunity. This Buggy, if you don't know, basically just removes all of that. Removes 2 turns of Blind, 2 turns of Special Bind. So running 2 of them, you can remove all the Blind, you can remove all the Special Bind, which works really nicely. Plus, you can then rotate the orbs to matching, and he's an orb booster. Super, super nice. What you can actually do is as well on this unit, you can actually slap on the Robin, this one here. So that way, like when you use your Buggy special, you are just going to have an attack boost and an orb boost. You're good to go. I do have Mihawk on this team. Mihawk's going to be a chain locker, which is nice. We have wave clearing shenanigans with Vista. He's replaceable with literally anyone if you don't have Vista, just anyone to help you wave clear. And then I've got the Bonaro Blackbeard as well as the, what's her name? Baby 5 on here. Just because they've got type advantage. Baby 5 has a few more points, which is nice. And that's basically all that needs to be said out of this. Just bring that Buggy as your captain, and you will be fine. On to the next fight against Alvida. This is where things start to get a little bit tricky. Alvida turns into a Dex unit. And the recommended characters are the 5+ Jack, the Kaido from the last treasure map, and Caesar. Now, for this particular fight, I'm not really using any of them besides the Kaido, which is actually quite funny. You get full board unfavorable slots, 5 turns of Despair, which will go down to 2 with sockets, 5 turns of Paralysis, and there is delay immunity. Once you do kill Hina, though, she comes back with 50% her HP as a quick character. That's where Kaido is sort of like nice for this, because you can just use the Kaido special, can easily take her out, and you will be fine. So basically, you need to get around 2 turns of Despair. That's why Caesar's boosted or recommended. And then getting around the Paralysis, which Jack does. Now, if you were like me, and you didn't actually farm up enough skulls, or got very unlucky with your boxes like myself, I opened 800 boxes and I didn't get a single Jack skull. I was furious. But it is what it is. So this is the team I had put together. Utilizing Zoro as a captain, you can use his super typings twice because we have Luffy on the team to do some wave clearing shenanigans on stage 3 and stage 4. And then we have a whole bunch of supports to get around the Paralysis and the Despair. Rayleigh gets around 2 turns of Paralysis and Despair. Sanji gets around 2 turns of Despair and Paralysis. And then the Raizo on our Kanjuro can also get around Paralysis as well. Basically just replace like Kanjuro with anyone that can remove Paralysis if you're struggling here. And then finally, we have the Kaido, who is recommended. The idea with this, with the Caesar support, is you can literally just use the special of Kaido. That way, you get like a monstrous 3.5 attack and orb boost. With the extra conditional boost, you can just blast through Hina on turn 1. And then literally on the revive, you have the burn mechanic from Sabo, which you apply on turn 1. So when she revives, she just instantly dies. My boy Sim, shout out to him, SimCity, has calculated it. It will work fine. The burn should kill. Once we get to those high nav levels, like, we'll have to change that. But at the end of the day, you just, like, save the Zoro special, save the Luffy special, save the Sabo special. You'll have an attack boost, you'll have an orb boost. Like, you'll be absolutely fine. Like, this team's not going to have any issues. The only downside is it doesn't have color affinity, but will on the revive when she turns into a quick unit. So, that's the Hina fight. Let's move on to Perona now. Now, against Perona, she actually turns into a quick unit. The recommended characters here are Sabo, the Monet, and the Koala. You get a full board of unfavorable slots, 4 turns of attack down. That's why Koala's recommended. The defense down immunity, and then there is a 2-turn slot barrier for strength slots. So you have to hit with strength slots, otherwise you won't break the barrier. And there's also 4 turns of resilience. Now for this particular fight, Rockstar is an absolute weapon. If you guys don't have Koala, this guy is so good. And this is what everyone was talking about when like Rockstar released and why Rockstar's so good. Because he sees so much play in Treasure Map. Every Treasure Map, he's had been like a god tier unit for particular stages. He removes the Despair, he removes the attack down, he removes the barrier, and he locks slots as well, which is really, really nice. Actually, do you need Despair removal? No, so he removes the attack down and he removes the... Oh, removes the attack down and he removes the barrier, which is really, really nice. My bad, 1 second. So yeah, he removes the attack down and he can remove the barrier and then he's going to lock your slots, which is very, very nice. We've then got our wave clearing shenanigans with our Caesar unit. You can basically just use his special on turn 3 in stage 4. That's going to blow away those stages, which is nice. We have the switchability of Fuji and Makino to get around the, what's it called? The resilience, which is really, really nice. To get around the unfavorable slots, we do have King here. King's super typing is going to give everyone a full board of quick orbs, which is going to be really handy. And then with Denjiro, you got his double special activation for an attack and orb boost for your quick and your dex units. And this team is going to be fine, like absolutely fine. You can, like with the smoker support on King as well, you could even like get some more wave clearing and like pop King on turn 4, so you get the auto trigger of King. As long as you get an attack boost somewhere, you will get the super typing of King, and like you guys will be fine. As you guys can see, this team's gonna function pretty well. If you guys don't have King, you might have to look at using something like a kind of Fuji as your captain. Looking at some options there, but like I said, we're gonna big shout out to Garentz to have a look at some other teams once we do wrap up this video. Moving on to the final fight now. This is where things got a little bit hard, especially if you haven't done any summons recently. Like if you've skipped Vivi Reiju, understandably. If you skipped the TreasureMap banner and you haven't summoned at all, this is going to be a little bit tricky, but we are using the Kazuna Rebecca as our captain. She is a free spirit captain, which is really, really nice because Vivi is a free spirit character. Now, obviously, the recommended character for this is Vivi and the 3 new boosters. Understandably so, when it comes to TreasureMap, it is what it is. So, utilizing Rebecca with a friend Vivi, this team should function quite nicely. You get 5 turns of Despair on turn 4 and 5 turns of Defense up. And this is where Vivi is great because Vivi can set the defense to 0 and you can get around that. And then you just need a way to get around the Despair. On the final stage, you get 10 turns of Special Bind, which Vivi obviously removes with her Captain ability, 5 turns of Damage Reduction, and 5 turns of Threshold. So to get around the Despair, I am using the Perona from last year's Treasure Map. If you guys don't have this Perona, just bring someone that can get around Despair. Pretty simple. She literally doesn't really do anything else for this team. She is a conditional booster for defense down. It's another option. But obviously, this Rebecca is the one that's going to be setting the defense to 0 and being the conditional booster for stage 4 anyway. We have Vivi on this team. Vivi is a damage reduction remover for 5 turns. If you guys don't have this Vivi, she's a treasure map booster from last year's summertime batch. If you guys don't have this character, I do understand, but if you do, slap her on. And if you don't, you can always just use Kazuna Brook. So you can use Brook. This Kazuna Brook, he actually does 6 turns of damage reduction. So he is going to be another option for you guys. He's also a free spirit character. So he is going to see some play on this team as well. We've got Zoro here to remove the threshold, which is very, very nice. And then we've just got Monet, because Monet has type advantage and she's like a high point booster. That way you guys will be fine. This whole team will be free to play. If you do, you can easily replace the Perona and the Vivi. Like I said, Brook is a great option. And then bringing something like literally anything that's a free spirit or cerebral character. That way you do get the super typing of Vivi. Provided it's a free spirit as well, will get boosted under Rebecca. And you guys will be fine from there. Vivi will be the attack booster, the orb booster, rotate those orbs for you guys. And you will be absolutely hunky-dory from there. To get around Despair, like I said, we have Kuma. And if you can't get around the Despair, just replace Perona with someone that can, to be honest. Like, that should be fine. You could also even, like, with the Zoro, you could even do something like this. Like, if you have this Sanji, that's another way of getting around the Despair. So, this team should work fine. I don't know how long it's going to last. But, unfortunately, at the moment, like, this was the best that I could build. So, it is what it is. Looking at the Invasion now, this is where things get a little bit spicy. Against the Invasion, we do come against Vivi, and the recommended character besides the treasure map boosters is Reiju. So Reiju is the character that you want to build around for this particular fight. The preemptive, you get powerhouse characters, free spirit, and cerebral characters get their cooldowns. Obviously, for the Vivi, the Reiju, that's their classes they boost. You get block slots on turn 2, 5 turns of attack down and delay immunity, and then on stage 3, you get 1 turn of special reverse, 5 turns of blind on your right-hand side, 10 turns of paralysis on your left-hand side, and there is delay immunity. So as you can see, this is where Rage is really good to get around that paralysis. There's no poison shenanigans. You'd think they do poison sockets or something. But nevertheless, it is just the paralysis side. So the team that I put together is led by King. Now, King's great because you can auto-trigger King's special, and that way you can actually get the special cooldown for this whole team, except for Baby 5. Baby 5's just here because she's a 1.35 booster. She's a cerebral character. She's int. She has type advantage, so she's getting boosted under Reiju as well. But the idea here is to actually get on stage 2, use the King special, and then carry that into the final stage thanks to the Smoker support. We can get around the attack down thanks to Rockstar. Once again, Rockstar showing his worth. Rockstar's such a good unit, especially for treasure map. Like, the last couple of treasure maps, Rockstar has been an absolute god. We have Caesar here. Caesar's just here because he has type advantage. He's a 1.25 times booster, a 3/5 booster, and he can actually get around the what's it called? The bind on the right-hand side. I'm pretty sure he does 2 turns of bind removal. Yeah, 2 turns of bind removal, and then with his double special activation, you can get around 4 turns of bind, which is awesome. And then we just got Kaido here. Kaido's just here as a placeholder. Like, honestly, with Kaido's special, like, he can give himself a 3 times attack and an orb, as well as a Wano slot. So he can do a lot of damage. Rage is an attack booster. As you guys will see, like, this team should be fine. I don't see it having too many issues. We can even use Rage special on turn 2 as well, so auto trigger King as well, so you don't need the Smoker support. But I've just slapped it on there as another option, but ideally, you really want to make sure you bring a Rage friend for this particular team to work. So they're the teams that I did put together before I did my summons. Tune into the stream. We will be streaming tomorrow, actually. We should be streaming tomorrow, later, after Treasure Map releases. And I'll showcase my new teams for you guys. But I sort of wanted to get these teams out as they don't involve any of the new batch. They don't, like, including Vivi, Reiju in their batch, as well as the Treasure Map boosters. And hopefully you guys have sort of picked up some of these characters thanks to tickets and stuff like that, namely like Rockstar and whatnot. But otherwise, that's pretty much all she wrote when it comes to this particular piece of content. Before I do continue, though, I do want to slide over to our Discord and take a look at some teams that our boy Garentz has put together for us, as there are some other options for you guys too. So let's slide over there. Alright, so as I mentioned, huge shout out to Garentz. Like I said, link in the description for Garentz's YouTube as well as the Twitch. Make sure to go check him out while he's streaming. Absolute god when it comes to treasure map. A massive treasure map grinder. I think he's actually going for number 1 this time. Correct me if I'm wrong at getting Garentz in the comment section. But for people who have nothing to do with for treasure map, I've made these teams to help. It will help. Against Stussy, bring a Vivi friend captain. Once you get Treasure Map Stussy, you can replace Rob Lucci with Stussy themselves. Stussy's another really good option that I forgot to touch on. Stussy's a character that you can slide in as captain for the final fight if you are bringing a mono cerebral team, because Stussy should be like a 1.25 times booster. Against Vivi, you want to use a Rage friend captain. Against Makino, if you don't have the chopper support on Nami, save one of the Zoro specials for the last stage. And then Nami, blah, blah, blah. You guys can read that there. So, against Makino, the team looks like this. It is the Luffy free-to-play team. The Germa with the free-to-play Nami. You've got Brook, which can get around damage reduction. And if you don't have that chopper support as mentioned, you can use the Zoro special, which is nice. Obviously, against Tashigi, the god unit here is the delivery buggy. So you just want to bring that character. Slide on a whole bunch of other free-to-play characters. If you don't have this big bomb, just replace her with something else. That should work absolutely fine. There's nothing really special about this team besides the buggy. Onto the Dex variation, he's using the Sweet 3 as a captain. That way you can actually get some wave clearing shenanigans going. And I feel like you can probably just like one punch the revive. That's what he's going for there. On the quick variation of, which is Perona. Sorry, the Dex variation. Yeah, quick variation, sorry. You have wave clearing shenanigans with Shinobu. You have Treasure Map Shanks for like orb manipulation. And then Sabo, which is great because he's a recommended character here. And then against Stussy, you have the Zoro himself, the Treasure Map Zoro, with a whole bunch of free spirit characters, which should be fine. I don't imagine there'll be any issues there. I don't know what this character is. Yeah, so he's got Brook down on this particular fight here, so there's a double up of the Brook. So you probably have to replace... Like, I feel like you'd replace the Brook on this team here. Take this Brook off. As you wouldn't want to be using that Brook, as he's really good to remove the damage reduction down here. For the invasion, you got the Ambush Lin, who's really, really good. Unfortunately, if you don't have that Lin, you are going to have to look for another option for a like powerhouse cerebral booster that's int. But I feel like you could probably use like this Sanguro or something like that. So, once again, shout out to Garentz for putting these teams together. Hopefully these teams will help you guys out as well, if my teams didn't. But if you guys didn't, link will be in the description for the Discord. Come over. We do have a treasure map tab here, which has a whole bunch of information for people that like to chat about treasure map and like to help each other out, you know, that's the best way to do it. So, as I mentioned, guys, that's going to wrap up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go down and belt the like button for me if you're new to the channel. Hit the big red subscribe button too. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.